Hey, nieces and nephews, it's your favorite auntie, Monique Judge, and this is Auntie Unfiltered. Now, today on Auntie Unfiltered, I invited another wonderful, amazing guest. She is a supreme auntie, a mother. She is just the queen of all things, and it's none other than Bevy Smith herself. How you doing, Bevy?
I'm so happy to be here with you. I think it's such a key that you have an actual auntie podcast. I think it's hilarious.
You know, I personally don't have any children, right? But I do have a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge to share. I have my own nephew, but everybody is my nieces and nephews. We just gonna get out here and share our knowledge, share our wisdom. There's so much we have to give to the world as Black aunties. So let's do that, right?
The reason why my book is titled Lessons from a Mother, Auntie Bestie is because when I do TV, so many people connect with me on one of those titles. So the mother came from my babies from Bravo's Fashion Queens. Miss Lawrence and Derek J started calling me mother. One of my gay children called me mother. I'm like, yes, the mother, the only mother. So I was thinking of that. Then Auntie came about because there was so many young women that would see me on TV and be like, oh, that's my cool auntie. Oh, that's the auntie that I could go and hang out with. Oh, that's my rich auntie. That's the auntie who'll take me on trips.
And this brings me to like another topic, which is the wisdom of aunties, right? What are some gems that an auntie gave to you that you now pass on to others?
One of the big tips that I give my niece is I want her to live her life to the fullest. She's 26 years old, and I'm like, little lady, you've got to go out and have fun, because she's a beautiful girl, but sometimes she likes to be a little old lady who lives in a shoe. And she's too fine for that. And I'm always like, you got to get outside and you got to live your life. Like, you got to let the kids see you and you got to feel all the emotions and all the things, darling.
We should allow them a little bit of growth and room to, you know, discover who they are and who they want to be. I feel like if that had happened to me, then journalism wouldn't have been a second career for me. It would have been the first.
I talk about it. I refer to that kind of thing as fucks and fumbles. You have to be able to have some fucks and fumbles before you get down to the serious task of living your life. So that means you have to excavate. You have to do all this work to, to really unearth this person that you were before disappointments in life happened to you. Perhaps disappointments in love, disappointments in career. Perhaps your family has disappointed you. And so because of that, you have built up this buffer. You have this calcified scab on your spirit, on your heart, on who you really were meant to be in this world. So the first question is, get to the core of that. Who are you before you got hurt? And you have to bring that person back up to the forefront. The second thing is, how are you being perceived? Most times when you ask people that question, they want to tell you about how fabulous they are. Oh, everyone comes to me for advice. I'm a born leader. No, I want to know, how are you being perceived in the ways that you don't necessarily enjoy? Like, for me, I had to change my life because although I was incredibly successful, I was being perceived as a cold, calculating bitch who didn't really have a lot of feelings, because people looked at me as this go-getter in the fashion world, and I had this haughty demeanor, and I had this kind of like shield up. And I also was very focused on my career and my sex life, and not so much on love and on familial connections and things like that. And so once I realized that I was being perceived as someone who was cold, callous, not that loving, I was like, well, I don't like that perception. And then I had to figure out how I wanted to be perceived. And I knew that I wanted to be perceived who I was in my heart and my core, the person I was before the world got to me. And so I did the work. I was like, I want to be perceived as someone who is a mentor, a teacher, someone who is caring, who is loving, who gives grace to people even when they mess up. And I'm happy to say that, over the years, I have built up this reputation. And even when people see me on TV, they connect to me in that way because I've done the work. So even if you don't know me, you know that I am very much a teacher, a mentor, someone who is giving of oneself. but I had to do the work. When I show my vulnerability, that's when all my blessings come to me, because then people can really connect, they can feel you, and then people empathize with you. And that's what you want. You want empathy all the way around. And so for me, those are the 3 questions I would say for a person to answer if they're really trying to create an authentic life for themselves.
Amen. I love it. Thank you so much. This has been amazing, amazing. Your story, your journey is truly inspiring. And I feel like this is going to be great for our audience. So we appreciate you.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it as well.